I want to welcome you all to the Birch Society group. Birch Society has been around since 1958. Mr. Welch was the founder of the Birch Society, and he realized at that time that the Constitution is extremely important. There were a lot of people that were avoiding the Constitution, deviating from the Constitution. Same thing as we have today. Created the foundation of the Birch Society to be their foundation is Christian, but it's also the Constitution. And every one of our representatives, no matter who they are, we shouldn't be voting for a representative because we like them. We should vote for what they stand for in our Constitution, what our founding fathers gave us. Well, what we try to do, we're not a militant group. Some people from way back when think it is a militant group. No, we're an educational group. We try to educate people. We have a phenomenal site called jbs.org. We have, matter of fact, we just released a documentary about the CO2 pipelines that are going through the United States. I don't know if anyone has seen that or heard about it, but it's devastating to some of the communities. It's taking up property, they're scooping up property, farmland, etc., and it's going to move across the United States. These are the type of things that the Birch Society is way ahead of the curve. And not only are they ahead of the curve, but they try to keep the representatives statewide and federal to follow the Constitution as much as possible. Is it a task? It's a big task. Because it depends on us doing our job. Our job is to bring them to understand what the Constitution is and why they're doing the laws that they're doing. We can't have a government that's telling us what to do. We have to tell our government what we want them to do. Many people hear it day in and day out talk about Washington. It's imperative that we talk about Columbia and every state that you go in. Those are the things that affect you immediately. And we have our representative, I'm just staring at a representative, past representative from Columbia. We have to concentrate on them, make them responsible for our things that are going on in South Carolina. And so this organization tries to bring awareness to things that are going on across the country. That's why we invited Tom and his wife Sharon here, because these are the situations that are occurring, and we sit there in front of the TV, frustrated all can be. But we can take action. A tremendous amount of actions we take. And the more information you have, the better off we can be and start. So what I'd like to do is introduce Linda.
Some of you are here because of an event that started in 2007. I invited 5 concerned Americans to my kitchen table to talk about things that were going on in our country. 4 meetings later, we had 150 people at the Holiday Inn. That's how concerned people were at that time. That was the beginning of the Somerville 912, so I'm wearing one of our original shirts. When we decided to get shirts, we talked about what kind of quote we were going to put on it. And you probably can't read it, but this quote says, "A government that's big enough to give you everything you want is big enough to take everything you have." When you think about what you're going to hear from tonight, if you take nothing else away from this meeting, I hope you are. 3 years ago, I made a small donation to the Patriot Freedom Project, which was a website started by somebody named Phyllis Hughes. She started it because the January 12ers were not allowed to raise money for their legal fees. That seemed really unfair to me, so I sent a donation, and a week later, I got a thank you note from somebody named Tom Caldwell. And I thought, wow, that's really nice. And in his note, he said, how terrifying it is to be falsely accused, slandered, imprisoned, and tortured. But he still ended up with, thank you for hearing about these 2 strangers in Virginia. Well, there was no return address. So I sent him a little note. And he sent him a little note. And I sent him a little note. And then my phone rang, and it was them. So we've had this little ongoing relationship over time. And I looked up Tom Caldwell online to see what the world thought of him. They didn't think too much. The headlines in the New York Times said he's a seditious conspirator, a traitorous leader of the Oath Keepers. Well, I had the leader of the South Carolina Oath Keepers come to my meeting, and they're just people who took an oath to defend the United States. They're retired military, retired police. They're wonderful guys. They went to D.C. on January 6th and offered their help to the mall police. They got turned down. And then I saw Tom on the Tucker Carlson show. And so I made up my own mind about them. And over time, I said to them, when you're finally free, I'm going to help you come to South Carolina and put you in front of as many people as I can. And this is the end of my promise tonight to them. Thank you for being here. Thank you for meeting them. They should have to go through what they've gone through, that's for sure. And the unsung hero of this is Sharon Caldwell. I'd like to introduce you to Sharon.
Can y'all hear me okay? Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for having Tom and I here today. It's an honor to be here, and we're delighted to be able to share our January 6th story with you. We hope you'll find it educational and enlightening at a minimum. But before I get into our story about January 6th, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Tom and I. We've been married for about 25 amazing and wonderful years. We live on a small farm in the northern Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, where we've raised beef cattle over the years, and we grow pawpaw trees, or pawpaw fruit, which is, if you don't know, it's North America's largest native fruit. Tom is a retired lieutenant commander for the U.S. Navy. He is a 100% service-connected disabled veteran. He retired after almost 20 years of honorable service, and during most of his Navy career, he served in the area of naval intelligence. And if you would like to know more about his time in the Navy, please talk to him, but I can't tell you about him because we met after he had retired from the Navy, so I never got to be a Navy wife, which I think I would have liked, but that was not in the cards for me. Prior to meeting Tom, I had a career in human resources management where I specialized in compensation and benefits at companies like Mobil Oil, Marriott, Computer Sciences, just to name a few. After we were married, we both transitioned into information technology jobs, and we eventually ran our own small IT business for a few years.